I told you this would happen, little lamb. I told you they wouldn't take you back. Your village gave you up to keep me away. Do you really think they'd risk my wrath by hiding you from me if you escaped? I told you they'd drag you out here and tie you to a tree for me to find. Did you honestly think I didn't know what you were doing? That I didn't know exactly why you were suddenly so good? Cleaning our home while I was away, greeting me at the door when I came back. Always doing what I asked without complaining, no matter what I asked you to do. Telling me with every other breath how much you loved me. I would have liked for it to be the truth, but I'm no fool. You are waiting for the spring. You are waiting for me to go off on a hunt so you could try and escape. I could see it in your eyes when I said I'd be away for a few days. You were thrilled. Oh, I hated that look. I wanted to break it. I wanted to pin you down and do whatever I had to make sure you wouldn't be able to try. There were plenty of ways I could have kept you from walking, you know. But I decided to wait. I left our home, climbed a tree, and watched to see what you'd do. It hurts that you went through so much trouble to try and leave me. You used one of my knives to break the lock on the window. You went out of your way to destroy your footprints when you went through the mud. You even rubbed your skin with crushed wolf's bane to try to hide your scent. You stupid little creature. Did you really think it would be enough? You know, as well as I do, that you can't hide from me. I'll always be able to find what's mine. The only reason I let you wander as far as you did is because I wanted you to see for yourself that you had nowhere to return to. Nowhere except to me. You should be grateful I don't leave you here for the night. Being bound and gagged in the woods on your own would be a fitting punishment. I know how scared you were when you heard me at first. You thought I was a wolf, didn't you? Or some other wild animal. You'd be easy pickings for any hungry creature that found you like this. But you know I wouldn't let them have you. Even after this, I'm not going to abandon you. That doesn't mean I won't punish you once we get home, though. I'm going to free you now. Don't try and escape, or I might get careless and cut more than... What's that? On your cheek. Don't turn away from me when I ask you something. Look at me. It happened when they took you inside, didn't it? That was the only time I couldn't see you. Those stupid, arrogant, pathetic little rats. I don't care if they returned you. They don't get to lay their filthy hands on you. I'm only going to ask you once. Who gave you that bruise? Tell me their name, and don't lie to me. Unless you want me to hurt you, listen to me very carefully. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going back to your village. I'm going to find the worthless creature that dared to lay a hand on you. And I'm going to rip him limb from limb. Don't argue with me. You shouldn't be concerned with him. You should be much more concerned with yourself and what I'm going to do to you once I get back. Since I love you so very, very much, I'm going to give you a word of advice. Run. Run as far and as fast as you can, little lamb. And pray that by the time I catch you, I'm in a more forgiving mood. I'm almost impressed, little lamb. You ran much farther than I expected. You even ran through a stream and washed off the wolf's bane. Did you hope that it might put me in a better mood? You're wrong. All it means is that I can hold you more easily. You know you can't escape me by struggling. All you're doing is getting blood on your clothes. You hadn't noticed, had you? The people in your village really are some of the most pathetic creatures I've ever seen. They gave me the man who struck you without hesitation, just to save their own worthless skins. What did I do? Exactly what I said I would. First, I tore off the arm he used to strike you. Then the other. Then both of his legs. And once I was done, I made sure the rest of the villagers knew they'd meet the same fate if any of them hurt you. You should be grateful I killed him, little lamb. The fact that I had a chance to vent some frustration is the only reason I haven't broken your legs. Yet. That certainly got your attention. Did I scare you? Or maybe it's the blood on my clothes. Does it scare you? Good. Maybe that's what you need. To be scared. I wanted you to stay with me out of love. But if that won't work, then I'll settle for you staying out of fear. Do you taste that? That's the blood of the man I killed. The man I killed because of you. He may have been the one that struck you, but you're the one that went back to the village. This whole mess is because you couldn't behave for me. This is the only warning I'm going to give you. If you ever try and leave me again, if you so much as look at that village, then it won't matter how gently they treat you when they return you to me. I'll kill them. I'll tie you up in the village square and make you watch while I slaughter every man, woman, and child that lives there. I'll make sure to save your parents for last, so they can take one last look at their child before I tear out their throats. Maybe I'll leave you there for a few days, so you can watch the birds strip their flesh from their bones. How does that sound? No. Why shouldn't I? Exactly. Because it isn't their fault. You're the one that left me. And since you're the one that left, that means there's something you need to say to me for making me to go to so much trouble to get you back. You know exactly what it is, little lamb. I'm telling you to apologize. Say it again. Tell me how sorry you are. Tell me how foolish you were to try and leave me. Tell me how you'll never run away again. I know you won't. In fact, you won't be able to run at all. Hold still so I can set it. If it were to heel crooked, I'd have to re-break it, and something tells me you wouldn't want that. There. You don't need to worry. It's a clean break. It'll heal within 2 months, so long as you don't strain it. But you won't be able to move much in the meantime. It hurts, doesn't it? And think, I still held back for your sake. I could have shattered every bone in your leg if I wanted to. Or just torn it off entirely. It would have been easy, like picking a flower. The only reason I didn't is because I love you, my sweet. I'll always love you. Even when you're foolish. Even when you make me angry. Now, why don't we go home? We'll get you cleaned up, get rid of those wet clothes, and settle you in bed so you can rest. You've had a very long day after all. One last thing. I want you to keep telling me how sorry you are for all of this while I walk. If you haven't convinced me by the time we return, then I'll break your other leg. So for your own sake, little lamb, you had better be convincing.